I don't get too worked up about this stuff until we know a lot more, and that's where I'm at now. The other thing with DeSanto is I don't know how much he's been injured like this. I think he probably maybe could have handled that a little bit differently. One thing is his calmness helps a lot there. And I don't know how calm he was.
What's going on, wrestling fans? And this, of course, was a massive match this past week. We've seen Roman Young lose to Austin DeSanto twice in the past, but this was going to be the week that he avenged that loss. We did see him get that victory over Austin DeSanto in the Penn State versus Iowa duel. Now, during this match, there were a couple of, crazy things that happened, as is to be expected. And one of those crazy things was Roman Young pulling over DeSanto in a nearside cradle twice and having it called off twice. So let's discuss exactly what this position was, if DeSanto is actually injured, and go into whether he quit or not. So first of all, you kind of hear Tom Brand's comments on this match, and I'll get into those in just a bit, but I want to discuss this position first. So straight off the bat, Roman Young has his hand behind his back, so DeSanto's not grabbing that, shooting in, but DeSanto doesn't care. Right away, he shoots in straight to his other leg, and he's going to take him down. Roman Young goes up over the top and kind of swings around to go in for that near side cradle. Now, in order to get that near side cradle, you see in this position, just a little bit after, he kind of pushes his DeSanto's knee forward and almost like snaps it out of it. It kind of bends just in a weird way, and DeSanto kind of screams out in pain. Not something I noticed the first time when I was watching the duel live, not something I noticed, but obviously the referee did hear that, and he called off this attempt right away. Called it off, and DeSanto was apparently injured. People were saying, I don't know if he's actually injured. He's just yelling out in pain. He knows he's going over his back, something that does not happen often. So anyways, we get back into it. DeSanto comes straight back up, but because of this position that was called off, Roman Young gets awarded 1 point. Roman Young takes DeSanto down after wrestling a little bit again, takes him straight down, rides him a little bit until DeSanto gets back up. Then we go straight back to it. DeSanto shoots in. Similar, it was pretty much shot for shot the exact same thing that happened. And Roman Young gets in on this near side cradle again. This time he actually takes DeSanto over to his hip. So referee gives him 2 right away. But you hear him start kind of yelling out again. Ref calls off this position once more. And at this point, everybody's just going berserk. If you're a Penn State fan, or if really you're just like, what's going on? Unless you're an Iowa fan or a DeSanto fan, you're like, why is this position called off twice? Well, apparently it's because DeSanto's been called off, or DeSanto's been yelling. And Roman Young was going for the pin there. He was going for the pin, at least getting some back points. He's up big in this match right away. But we see this. He's up 5-zip, and DeSanto then just kind of lays there. He's laying there. He's saying, I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. I don't know if he's actually injured or not. Now, we saw Tom Brand's kind of, and of course, Roman Young ended up getting the win and the injury default for the team. But the one thing I want to talk about now is Tom Brand's. Tom Brand's comments on the match straight after in the press conference. He was discussing whether DeSanto was actually hurt or not. He kind of alluded to the fact that he thought DeSanto could have kept wrestling. He said that he thinks that this is a position where DeSanto hasn't necessarily been in before. He was in some pain, and let's give him that. Yeah, he was absolutely in some pain from what Roman Young was doing with his knee. It bent kind of around in a weird way, which is completely understandable. And like I said before, I'm a big DeSanto fan. I'm just a fan of watching great wrestling matches. I think DeSanto has a lot of great wrestling matches. And this time, he was just kind of hurt. But Tom Brand said that he actually thinks that DeSanto, if he would have calmed down a little bit and let things settle and kind of known what that injury kind of felt like, he may have been able to finish the match. So it was kind of an unfortunate thing to happen, and I know this has been absolutely crazy with people discussing where Roman Young should be ranked, whether this counts as a win or not. And yes, it's absolutely counted as a win. He was beating DeSanto, and that's a whole other discussion. But did DeSanto quit, or was he injured? If you want my flat out answer, I don't think DeSanto is one to just flat out quit a match. I think that there is some injury here. This is something we will see over the upcoming weeks, how often we actually see DeSanto wrestle. If we see him going to sit out now a week or two or whatever it may be so he can let this injury heal, I think that's going to be something that kind of only the test of time tells. And then once we see these two wrestle again in possibly the Big Ten championships as well as NCAAs, that's when we'll really see where this possible rivalry now is going to lead. Please let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. Did DeSanto quit, or is he actually injured?